Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Packers post-game show, the post-route at Game on Wisconsin, sponsored by Artec Ventures. My name is MJ Hurley, and I am coming to you sad, yet not disappointed, and mostly ready to educate some Green Bay Packers fans, national media members, Packers beat writers, and others alike about what actually happened during today's game. Seems to be a lot of misinformation, seems to be a lot of chaos, a lot of people who are more upset than they should be, people who are not as upset as they should be. But I'm going to clarify a lot of that for all of you and break down what happened in Jordan Love's first start in the NFL against the Kansas City Chiefs. Green Bay Packers lost 13-7 this evening. Storylines, a lot of mishaps on the special teams end. And just flat out, the Green Bay Packers did not take advantage of all the opportunities they needed to take advantage of this evening to win a football game. That's first and foremost. That's really the only thing that matters today. So with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, once again, post-route at Game on Wisconsin. My name is MJ Hurley. If you want to, throw some comments in the chat. If you're on Twitter, make sure to go to YouTube because the comments do not transfer well from Twitter to our live stream. So make sure you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook so you can get your comments in. Let me know how you feel about tonight's game because it sure was a chaotic what in the frickin' world is going on. So first thing I want to talk about is just give you a little context. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to say and have already said this was a bad first game for Jordan Love. Week 9 of the NFL season, Aaron Rodgers is suddenly out because of COVID, and Jordan Love has to take over. This is something that was not expected. Jordan Love, 19 for 34, 190 yards, touchdown, and an interception. So you may ask, MJ, what was Aaron Rodgers' first NFL game like? Man threw for 178 yards, 2 touchdowns, but one of those was rushing. So he threw for fewer yards than Jordan Love and the same amount of touchdowns. And the last time I checked, Aaron Rodgers is one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever hold a football in his hand. So you have somebody who came in, played in a game that he was not supposed to play in on Monday. And there's an extreme amount of criticism from Packers fans, from Packers media, from national media about the way Jordan Love performed in this football game. Don't get me wrong, the man made mistakes. He was not perfect in any sense of the word. But going into this football game, nobody asked him to be perfect. Nobody asked him to go out there and play hero ball. In fact, I actually said on the pre-snap, I don't want him to play hero ball. I don't want him to go out there and try and be the guy. I don't want that at all. What I wanted was Jordan Love to go out there, manage the game, figure out what in the world was going on, and just get us to the finish line. Did that happen? No. The Packers are now sitting at 7-2. And honestly, I would love to hear your guys' reactions because it was a disappointing game nonetheless. But it was a game where the Green Bay Packers did everything they needed to do on the two most important phases of the football field, and that is offense and defense. Special teams did not do what they needed to do. And it's really unfortunate that in the first game of Jordan Love's career, something that is completely outside his control got screwed up. That's just the way it is. The first game of Jordan Love's career, something that is completely outside his control got screwed up. So if you want to hate on Jordan Love, go for it. That's absolutely your right. But given the way he played, this is not a game that we should hate on Jordan Love for. This is a game we should hate on the special teams. This is a game we can hate on the play calling. But in Jordan Love's first career NFL start, he had as many positives as I can ask for, and that's really all we want. Couldn't draw anything up to beat that blitz. That's a very good point, Ian. So we're gonna jump in onto some offensive talk here. Not this quote, not today. Normally, I'm very romantic about football. Normally, I love talking about that. How can you not be romantic about football? And this is a game that almost had that moment. If the Green Bay Packers could have gotten that stop, There were so many other chances. The game should have been tied 13-13 at the end of that football game, and it wasn't. We had so many chances for a how can you not be romantic about football moment, and unfortunately we didn't get it. So with that, let's talk about the offense real quick. It's interesting to me. See if I can get. Nah, we're gonna go with this one. Offensive MVP. I don't even really know, to be honest, because this was a disappointing football game. This was a football game that the offense did not do what they needed to do. What were the two things I said on the pre-snap that the Green Bay Packers needed to do offensively to win this football game? Number one, we needed Aaron Jones to have a very big game. Seemingly, Matt LaFleur forgot that he had Aaron Jones. Jones was extremely effective when used. He was running the ball extremely well against a Kansas City defense that is very bad at stopping the run. And for some reason, we saw late in the game, 3rd and 5, Matt LaFleur ran the football out of the shotgun, and Aaron Jones got 9 yards. Positive gain, got the first down. And for some reason, Matt LaFleur didn't go back to that the rest of the game. He wasn't going back to that the entire game. Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon had, I want to say, 78 yards on about 14 carries in the first half. And then in the second half, Matt LaFleur just said, screw it. I'm not going to run the football anymore. When we needed positive gains on first down, when we needed to move the chains and just get Jordan Love comfortable in that offense, Matt LaFleur decided to not do the easiest thing for his young first NFL start quarterback, and he didn't run the football. That's the most important thing for an offense to do, especially the Matt LaFleur offense. I've been saying this for 9 weeks now. If Matt LaFleur wants his offense to work, you need to run the football. He wasn't running the football. So I'm going to agree with Ian here. I'm going to say A.J. Dillon was the offensive MVP tonight. Honestly, and I forget who tweeted this, there have been multiple games so far this year, whether it's by usage from Matt LaFleur, whether it's by game plan, or whether it's just by actual efficiency. A.J. Dillon has looked like running back one at multiple points in multiple games this season. Do I think A.J. Dillon is a better running back overall right now than Aaron Jones? No, but they're both extremely effective in different lights. So I'm not inherently upset with A.J. Dillon getting maybe even equal amount of touches to Aaron Jones. I don't want to go with equal, but A.J. Dillon should be getting a good amount of touches. And honestly, it would make me a little bit upset if he doesn't get that on a consistent basis. Tonight, I'm just frustrated. I don't even have – you guys have seen me, the Saints game. I just ripped into the Green Bay Packers, and I don't even particularly have much to rip into the Packers about tonight, mostly because it's a game that they should have won. It's a game that they weren't expected to win. Side note, they did cover. Packers were +7, and it was 13-7. So the Green Bay Packers did cover tonight, which is ironic, given everything that went on. But, other than the Packers winning a few people some money, it's just something that it's a frustrating game to the point where I don't even really know what to say. Point by Dan here. I'm not too worried about Dillon being a better running back than Aaron Jones. Just like Jamal Williams, each running back had their own role. Yes, I think that is true. My only worry is with the amount we've paid Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon. I don't even want to say this. With the amount we've paid Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon really can't be as good as him because that's going to put the Packers in a really weird situation, a really bad financial situation. And I would rather A.J. Dillon just be like a tier below Aaron Jones so that we have a really good running back duo. Most teams can't do the whole Cleveland thing where they have Chubb and Hunt. It just doesn't go well on most teams. I am very proud of the defense. You are right, Ian. This was a game where the defense needed to step up. They didn't step up to the extent that I would have liked them to, and we'll get into that a little bit later when we go into defensive MVP recap of the defensive keys to the game. But no, the defense did on a base level what they needed to do. They got the job done for the most part. Dillon has been better in pass protection. So that is something I wanted to talk about. Troy Aikman made a very big point on the broadcast of the amount that the Chiefs were blitzing. And I thought that was interesting, yes, because that's definitely something the Chiefs would not do against Aaron Rodgers. You blitz Aaron Rodgers, you get burned. Everybody knows that. Every defense knows that. Every fan knows that. That's just kind of the way it goes. However, it was interesting to me the amount that they blitzed Jordan Love. He definitely improved throughout the game. There's a reason Packers were able to get 2 drives going late in the game. That's because Jordan Love improved. That's because he got better as the game went along. The looks that the Chiefs were throwing at him, he started to understand better. He started to comprehend better. It makes perfect sense. But the thing that really bothers me is the Packers offensive line was not doing really well. And I know we've been talking a lot about the offensive line this year, a lot of shuffling going on with that O-line, a lot of just an overall lack of health with that offensive line. Both David Bakhtiari practicing now, hopefully coming back in the next couple weeks. We need to have our offensive line. Now, without Josh Myers, we don't have that offensive line yet that we really want to have. However, just looking at it right now, I need Royce Newman to go. He made too many mistakes tonight, whether that be literal ones and penalties, but also blown run coverage, blown pass coverage, times he needed to get out and pull, and he didn't pull fast enough. Royce Newman, in my opinion, is the weakest link on that offensive line. So when David Bakhtiari comes back, I don't know what the combination is going to look like. The reason being, you can put Elgton Jenkins at left guard, center, or right tackle. You can move Billy Turner into right guard if you put Jenkins at right tackle. You can move Lucas Patrick over to right guard if you put Elgton Jenkins at center and keep Runyon at left guard. So there are a lot of things that the Green Bay Packers could do with that offensive line. It really just depends on what they're going to decide, and that's up to Matt LaFleur and the coaching staff. At the end of the day, not something that I'm going to worry about too much, but Royce Newman right now is not an offensive lineman that I want, especially when Aaron Rodgers comes back. I don't want him there. Ian's right. Hasn't looked good all season. And again, same thing as with Jordan Love. Royce Newman is a rookie. It's really hard for rookies to perform in the NFL. The curve, the learning curve that they have to go through to go up against guys like Chris Jones tonight that are just extremely intelligent NFL veterans, I don't blame them for not being incredible. I don't blame them for not being all pro level players. Elgton Jenkins is not normal. Josh Myers is not normal. But in a season where we have to go all in, the Green Bay Packers have to make the decisions that they have to make. And in my opinion, taking Royce Newman out is going to be what they have to do. This is an interesting. So, Ian, I'm curious. You want Lucas Patrick over John Runyon. That's a very interesting decision. I'm not against it. Lucas Patrick has played well. But really, Patrick at left tackle and Jenkins at right tackle? Is that what I'm looking at there? Because that appears to be left to right. I would at least switch Jenkins and Turner if you're going to do that. I think Jenkins should be either at his natural left guard. Well, I say natural. He played all his college snaps at center, so it doesn't really have a natural position. But that's interesting. Newman's responsible for 4 sacks on Rodgers this season. That is true. So just a lot of mistakes by Runyon this year. That's not something that I just flat out don't want to see that moving forward. That's how it is. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to see it. I don't want him starting on the field, at least playoffs and on. When people aren't healthy, that's a different story. He's a very viable backup offensive lineman, but I don't want him starting right now. That's just the way it is. And he has only one PFF grade in the 70s, week 5 against the Bengals. Yeah, it's been a rough go for Royce Newman. That is very true. But yeah, offensively, so I want to move to the defense and special teams. So here is my final go on Jordan Love. Here is my final go on Jordan Love. For a rookie, and I'm going to say rookie because he wasn't active last year. For a NFL rookie in his first career start in the loudest stadium in the NFL Jordan Love did about what we all expected him to do. He made a couple mistakes. He had a couple throws where you went, that's not normal. Those were very good throws in a clean pocket. He looked good. When he was blitzed, he looked bad. But newsflash, Aaron Rodgers is the worst ranked quarterback in the NFL this year when blitzed and under pressure. So if you're going to look me in the eyes and criticize Jordan Love for being bad when under pressure from sometimes 7-8 blitzers at a time, then I don't know what to freaking tell you. Because Aaron Rodgers has looked just as bad under that type of pressure this year. So if that's your qualification, then get Aaron Rodgers out of town too. I don't want to see him in the green and gold ever again because he sucks under pressure too. It was more that the Chiefs were willing to bring that type of pressure tonight because it wasn't Aaron Rodgers. Green Bay Packers played a football game where if the reigning NFL MVP was their quarterback, they would have won in their sleep. This is a learning experience for Jordan Love. He got 60 minutes of valuable reps today, where now the Green Bay Packers, as Joe and Troy were saying on the broadcast today, we now have some evidence of what Jordan Love looks like. We have a little bit more to go on if the Green Bay Packers have to make a decision regarding our quarterback future this offseason. I don't want to hear the slander around Jordan Love. I don't want to hear that you want him gone, that you want him traded, that we need to re-sign Aaron Rodgers forever just because of this. Both quarterbacks that the Packers have are flawed. Aaron Rodgers brings a lot of chaos, a lot of controversy. He does a lot of stupid things in his personal life. Jordan Love isn't perfect yet, but newsflash, the Green Bay Packers went 6-10 in Rodgers' first season as an NFL quarterback. He was not good. Brett Favre was not good in his first season as an NFL quarterback. And they sat longer than Jordan Love has before they got their first real experience. So if you want to go criticize Jordan Love, I would highly recommend you would, thinking back, looking to see if you would have kept that same energy with Aaron Rodgers and with Brett Favre, because those two turn into Hall of Fame quarterbacks. So from everything I've seen from Matt LaFleur, Brian Gutekunst, and the Green Bay Packers front offense and their talent evaluation, I am going to trust that evaluation, and I highly recommend you to do the same thing before making judgments that are going to make you look stupid 4 or 5 years down the road. Could Jordan Love be a bust? Sure. I don't know. It's the NFL. It's really hard to judge. But if you're going to make that decision based off of one game where Jordan Love didn't know he was the starter until Wednesday, and the Packers had 2-3 days of practice to implement a game plan, an NFL game plan, then you are so without logic that I don't even know what to tell you. That's my offensive rant. That's my Jordan Love rant. Take it as you will. Those are my 2 cents. Let's see. Bakhtiari at left tackle, Patrick at left guard or right guard, Jenkins at whatever guard position he's best at, Myers at center. Okay, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Mo Drayton should be gone. Special teams has had issues all year, especially with that field goal unit. Hot take. Would you start Dennis Kelly over Royce Newman? Not in a million years. No. I'm talking about getting Newman out of there once the rest of our offensive line is healthy. He's there because he has to be there right now. I don't want him gone yet. I have not seen enough from Kelly to say that right now. Would he be worse? Probably not. But I don't think there's enough improvement there to get rid of the continuity that the Green Bay Packers really value on the offensive line. So we're going to move on to defensive MVP. And my defensive MVP, well, okay, the obvious answer is Chris Barnes because of the way he played defensively today. Mans went off. He went crazy. The other one I want to bring up, and I told my girlfriend to make sure I said this on the post route. She's currently getting dinner, so she's not here to remind me. But I did actually remember. Person I wanted to highlight was actually Darnell Savage. And especially given a game where it was a lot of passing heavy. Chiefs did not do well running the football, so when it mattered most, they went to the passing game. Darnell Savage did a very good job, number one, helping on Tyreek Hill. Rasul Douglas, Kevin King got a really hard assignment today, and that is between the two of you, we need you to cover Tyreek Hill. And that's really hard to do. They did it pretty well. I mean, they limited Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs to, I want to say, about 200 passing yards. The Chiefs did absolutely nothing on offense. So if you have to give props, it's going to go to the secondary. And Darnell Savage did a very good job making sure that over the top, Tyreek Hill had nothing. Making sure that over the top, Travis Kelce, Mecole Hardman had nothing. Packers kept the Chiefs in short range, and it showed in the stats. It showed in the way that game went that the Kansas City Chiefs just had to play everything underneath. And the biggest reason for that was Darnell Savage. Now, honestly, I'm going to give a defensive MVP at each phase of the defense because I thought there were a lot of impressive things across the board. So my safety MVP is going to be Darnell Savage. My linebacker MVP, not Devondre Campbell, although he had another incredible game, Krys Barnes. The amount of times I heard that man's name on the broadcast, the amount of holes he filled, the game-saving tackle on – not game-saving tackle, touchdown-saving tackle on Darrell Williams. Krys Barnes played like a man possessed today, and that is something that we need to see. We signed Jalen Smith. That experiment failed. We need to see Krys Barnes be the number 2, be the other middle linebacker, the other speed linebacker with Devondre Campbell. If he can play like that all year, filling gaps like that, that is absolutely a Packers defense that can make noise in the playoffs and in this stretch run. So I need Krys Barnes to continue to play like that. Props to you, Krys Barnes. I'm going to give you actually – you know what? Sorry, Darnell. I'm going to give Krys Barnes the main defensive MVP for this game because of how well that man played. And then, so going to the comments, honorable mention says Ian to Rashawn Gary. And Dan says Rashawn is his defensive MVP. Man leads the team 4.5 sacks and seemed like getting one pressure on Mahomes every other play. He was definitely involved a lot. I said at the beginning of the game, big pressure from Rashawn Gary. I tweeted that out at some point. I remember that. So, yeah, I mean, Rashawn, he got a sack. He was involved a lot. I saw him on the screen a lot. I saw him in the backfield a lot. That's something we need Rashawn to continue doing because right now, without Za'Darius Smith out, who potentially could return at some point in the near future, he's at least back in Green Bay at practice in uniform, not practicing at all, but he's, getting work in Green Bay now with the Green Bay staff. So he's cleared to the point where he can be in the facility, but still, for the foreseeable future, Rashawn Gary is our main pass rusher, so we have to deal with that. And Mans has 4.5 sacks for the time being, so it puts him on pace for around 10 sacks for the season. It's a very respectable number for your top pass rusher. Preston Smith has done better, so that's a position I'm comfortable with. I'm fine, definitely, with Rashawn Gary as an honorable mention. And Ian, you bring up a good point. Mahomes looks like a shell of himself, Ian says. Honestly, here's my diagnosis. Football Dr. MJ, reporting for duty here. And my diagnosis of Patrick Mahomes is the diagnosis I had of Aaron Rodgers in about 2016. Mahomes just got there a lot quicker. Because in 2016, Rodgers started to have a different offensive line than he normally had. Just different weapons. It was right as Adams was breaking out, didn't exactly have the guys who was used to having. And Rodgers started to get a little too cocky, playing some hero ball. You saw it tonight, one of the first series in the second quarter. Patrick Mahomes absolutely bombed the ball downfield. He had Travis Kelce wide over the middle on a crosser. Things like that. Mahomes is just making weird decisions, and I don't know why that is. Travis Kelce was dropping footballs all over the place tonight. Mecole Hardman had a drop. Tyreek Hill had a drop. They're just trying to get too fancy with it, in my opinion, forgetting what got them to the Super Bowl multiple times, 2 years in a row. I don't know what the Chiefs are doing. Obviously, this is Packers show, Game on Wisconsin, not exactly the place to try to diagnose the Chiefs. But my diagnosis for Patrick Mahomes is 2016 Rodgers. And I just think he needs a change, not a change of scenery, but just a little bit of a different voice in his ear to say, calm down. As Packers fans would say, relax and do what you know you can do and take the checkdowns more than you do right now. So I don't know. That's just me. Other player I want to mention on the defense, I refuse to talk about Kevin King. I just refuse. I can't do it. No, I can't do it. He was serviceable. I'll give him that. That's all he gets. He was serviceable. But defensively, Kenny Clark went down and Eric Stokes went down in pregame warmups. Knee injury for Eric Stokes. Don't know what was affecting Kenny Clark, but the defensive line, which was basically just hemorrhaging players at the end of the game, Slayton stepped up. Heffen stepped up. Lancaster, Lowry, all those guys stepped up tonight with injuries along that front galore. Green Bay Packers defensive line stepped up again against an offensive line that's been struggling. Kansas City had a couple injuries on the O-line tonight, so it was not, an extremely good representative sample. But to be honest, they did exactly what they needed to do. So defensively, I am not mad at all about what the Packers did tonight. They did more than they needed to do on every phase of the football, held the Kansas City Chiefs and a former MVP, two-time Super Bowl appearing offense to 13 points, and they held Patrick Mahomes to under 200 passing yards. I cannot be mad about that. Did they break at the end of the game when they could not? On a third down, Patrick Mahomes made his magic and, sealed the game for the Chiefs, yes. But the Packers defense did so much, and they were not rewarded on the special teams and the offensive front, so I cannot be mad about that whatsoever. Nick, this is an interesting. Honestly, I don't know. We miss Robert Tonyan, perfect person to walk in. We're about to start talking about Bobby T. So we missed Robert Tonyan today. We could have carved the defense in the middle. Honestly, I don't think so. I don't think Jordan Love was not looking over the middle today. He wasn't paying attention in the middle of the field for the most part. It was all outside or deep or Davante Adams. That really was it. I don't think Tonyan would have done much. Update, Kenny Clark was ruled out with a back injury. Thank you for that, Dan. And then Tyler Lancaster stepped up. We were struggling with depth on defense. That's a very good point. So last thing I do want to talk about is our family favorite, special teams. However, I needed a drink because I've been yelling a lot today, so I'm going to run the MVS commercial. Game on Wisconsin has MVS Marquez Valdez-Scantling on our network every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central. Our wonderful hosts take care of him for a little chat every Tuesday evening. So just a reminder, here's our MVS commercial, and I'll be back to talk special teams in a few moments. All right, now that I have a drink of water in me, I got 5 more minutes of yelling in me. What in the world was the Packers special teams today? Just to recap, we have a missed field goal, a blocked field goal, a terrible punt by Corey Bojorquez, a muffed punt somehow by Malik Taylor, even when he's not the punt returner. And I feel like there was more that I can't even think of right now. It was absolutely atrocious. Corey Bojorquez forgot how to turn the laces on a football. He can turn the laces on his own punts, but he can't turn them for Mason Crosby. So the Green Bay Packers missed 6 points that would have tied the game, and had it been 13-13 at the end of that football game and given Green Bay a chance to win, go to overtime, I don't know, make it more interesting and less depressing. So if you're the Green Bay Packers, there needs to be some sort of change in the special teams unit, whether that be Maurice, whether that be why in the world did Goody cut our long snapper, Hunter Bradley, in the middle of the season and decide to promote our practice squad long snapper? I don't understand. But the one thing that we could not have in Jordan Love's first career NFL start is the special teams just screwing him over. His average starting field position was the 16-yard line. That would be bad even for Aaron Rodgers, let alone the rookie quarterback. It's just absolutely infuriating that the Green Bay Packers have to deal with this BS. And specifically, I feel bad for Jordan Love. I just don't even know. Long snapper. Yeah, Ian, Guys, I honestly don't know what it is. Again, I've never played football. So, I watch football. I sort of know what I'm talking about sometimes. Some people enjoy listening to me talk about football. But at the end of the day, how much does the long snapper really affect it? I mean, the second snap, Corey seemed to have to corral a little bit and then didn't get the laces out because of that one. So again, I don't know how much that really had an impact. Either way, all I know is special teams have been awful this year. And Mason Crosby, as one of my favorite human beings on the face of planet Earth, deserves better. That's all I know. So if you're gonna screw the pooch on special teams, then please don't blame Jordan Love for things that he cannot control. So I don't know what changes need to be made, whether that's Maurice, long snapper, different holder, just a general revamp on special teams, more of an emphasis on special teams. I don't know what needs to happen. But yeah, I really don't know. The Packers are the worst special teams team in the NFL. 32. I guarantee it. I don't know what the numbers are, but I guarantee they're the lowest ranked team in the NFL on special teams. And thank you. Very good summary, Ian. It's just frustrating because if the Packers were competent, as Ian said, on special teams tonight, they probably win that football game. If they don't give 9 points away overall, it would be 13-10 after that touchdown from Lazard, and Patrick Mahomes would have to go win the football game. And we would just be overall in so many better positions to win that game, but our special team screws us over. So it's frustrating. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, the Green Bay Packers are still 7-2. They're still atop the NFC North. So there's only so much you can be mad about. I didn't even expect the Packers to be 7-2 going into this point of the year. If you told me that the Green Bay Packers would be 7-2 and we've played games without our top 6 players at least once, one game for all of them, I would not expect us to be 7-2, but here we are. And next week, on the 14th, next Sunday, we've got another 325 game, Packers versus the Seahawks, this time on CBS. This is a home game. Packers have done very well against the Seahawks in the last few years, especially at home. And assumingly, this is going to be Packers against Geno Smith. Now, Aaron Rodgers has to test negative for COVID-19 next Saturday. He has one shot. He has one shot to test negative for COVID. Otherwise, we're going to get the second rendition of Jordan Love, and we're going to get an even more exciting matchup of Jordan Love versus Geno Smith at Lambeau Field. What could not be more exciting for a primetime CBS game than Jordan Love versus Geno Smith? Either way, the combined record of the other 3 teams in the NFC North is a solid 6-18, and the only reason it's not 6-19 is because Detroit had a bye week today, so they couldn't lose. But yeah, the Packers are absolutely fine. Aaron Rodgers will come back. We'll be fine for the season. Worst case scenario, they get him back against the Vikings in Minnesota on the 21st. And then he gets ready to ramp up against a harder but not super terrible looking end of the season now that has Rams, Bears, Ravens, Browns, Vikings, Lions. So honestly, I'm going to make the prediction right now, just looking at where we are halfway through the season, 7-2. I'm going to predict wins in the next 2 games. That puts us at 9-2. Honestly, I think the Rams will come to Lambeau and beat Green Bay 9-3, beat the Bears 10-3, lose to the Ravens 10-4. Then we're going to win out to go 13-4 for this season. So I'll make it 3 straight years, in my opinion, that Matt LaFleur will get 13 wins to begin his NFL coaching career. I think the Packers are set up perfectly fine for the rest of this football season. I don't think we will struggle enough to the point where we are in a bad position going into playoffs. Keep in mind, we still have Jair Alexander out, Za'Darius Smith out, David Bakhtiari out. 3 of your 6 best players are still not playing for this football team. And really, the only one that was active today, off the top of my head, is Davante Adams. So when you have all of those guys out, Robert Tonyan down now, it's just a football team that's going to have to make some adjustments. We won't be fully functioning until late in the year. So if you're a Packers fan, relax, calm down, enjoy the season as much as you can, and we will be absolutely fine. Sitting 7-2 atop the NFC North, a 4-game lead on the rest of the bums that they call our division. There's nothing much that the Packers could do to screw up this season. So enjoy your Sunday evening. I know it was a frustrating day. It was a roller coaster of emotions, but the Green Bay Packers did everything they needed to do to win this football game. The special teams screwed them over. Be patient with Jordan Love. Just know at the end of the day that Aaron Rodgers is our quarterback for the rest of the season. Matt LaFleur is our coach for the rest of the season, and we have an incredibly talented football team. So with that, this has been the Post Route, a Game on Wisconsin, sponsored by Artec Ventures. My name is MJ Hurley. Thank you to everybody for watching. Ian, Nick, Dan, and the whole crew. I love you all, and I appreciate you as always. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you to Artec Ventures for taking care of us as always. Make sure to tune into the MVS show every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central, right here on YouTube at Game on Wisconsin. Once again, my name is MJ Hurley, and I'll see you next week in the afternoon for the pre-snap before Packers versus Seahawks. Hopefully it'll be Aaron Rodgers. If not, get ready for the Geno Smith versus Jordan Love primetime matchup we all want to see. I will talk to you guys later. Adios.